Hi! Today I thought we could paint a fish. This is what it looked like when I was finished. And this is what it looked like when I began with a pencil on a piece of watercolor paper. I have a pad of watercolor paper and I just ripped this sheet out. It's 140 pounds, so it stands up quite well without curling up if you're going to paint on it. And I wasn't going to paint all over the paper, so I wasn't worrying about it curling up. I started off with the pencil, and then I used two colors of watercolor, a rose color red and yellow. And the orange I got by mixing the red and the yellow. I used a lot of water in my first washes that I'm laying down here, because when you're working in watercolor, you start with light colors by watering down your watercolor. And then as you build, you can put darker colors over top of the first wash once it's dry. You have to wait till things dry. And when I filmed this, I speeded it up. So I was letting things dry before I started touching layers to each other. They were quite dry when I put those colors in later. I am not showing you the drying time. I filmed this using my iPad propped up on some boxes beside me to my right, and then I propped my iPad camera facing down, and I used the video camera on the iPad. And then I edited it in iMovie, and this is my edit in iMovie, and I recorded it by using my little earphones that plug into my iPad so that I could record this for you. Now, I was just playing and adding color and pattern and building up with the darker red. It started to be okay to put the darker color on top. So you can see I went from light to dark. So this little guy was coming around. I flipped him around to get to other areas. So you never really know what you're going to get, and you never know if you go too far. And sometimes I get a little bit over the top with adding bits and pieces, but it's a process and I'm learning, and I never know what's going to happen next. So then I thought, I think I need some plants at the bottom. I didn't really need to put that tape around it, but it was going to give me a nice straight line along the bottom. So I thought I'd do them with blue. I got some blue paint and made my leaves. And I used a finer brush for this part, as I used a finer brush for some of those details on the fish. So that was finished so far, and then I took my white acrylic pen and I started adding details. And I love adding dots to things, and I think that little necklace around the eye, those little circles around the red, I don't like that, but once I put it down I had to leave it. You can't go back. So I thought, well, okay, there's my finished fish. So I hope you like my fish, and I hope you might paint a fish too.